If you struggle with staying on the surface level in conversation about talking about the weather and hi, how are you? Then this video is for you. I'm gonna teach you how to connect a very deep conversation by using 3 different conversation topics. And the third one is something that people really don't use, and that is the missing link to making deep and intimate connection during conversations. All right, let's get it started. Let me ask you a question. How does it really feel when you're talking to a stranger for 20 minutes and you don't really get to know them? You talked about where they come from, what they do, what their sports are, and what they do on the weekend, and you still feel like, who is this person? Maybe you have this in your work with a colleague of yours. You know something about them, but you don't really know them. Or maybe you're with this cute, beautiful girl you just met and you don't really get to know her. So let me tell you what are these 3 things that you can talk about and why the third thing is the most powerful. Now, the 3 things are what, where, and why. Now, what and where, they're pretty straightforward. What do you do? Where do you come from? Now, when you ask me this question, I can tell you, well, what do you study? I study engineering. Great. Where do you come from? Well, I come from Bulgaria. Now, what does that tell you about me? Not much. I mean, you know what I studied and where I come from. However, if you use the why question, look what kind of answer you get. Why do you study engineering? Well, I study engineering because I read this blog on the internet when I was at high school, and it was written by this guy who was studying aerospace engineering. And when I read it, I thought like, wow, this is what I want to do. I want to work for NASA. Pretty interesting answer, right? Now, what about if you ask me, oh, you come from Bulgaria, but you live in the Netherlands. Why did you move? And I can tell you now, well, I was thinking about studying in Bulgaria, but the education system is not that great. In the Netherlands, much better. And of course, I had this dream to pursue my aerospace engineering career. So I decided to leave my parents and go there. It tells you much more about me. It tells you about my dreams. It tells you that I have the courage to leave my parents and go abroad. It tells you so much more than if I just tell you I study engineering or I'm from Bulgaria, right? And the why is where the deep level of motivation lies. You can learn about people's values, about why are they doing the things they're doing, What are their motivations? And you really get to know them. So for example, you meet this person and you ask them, oh, what do you do? And she says, I study psychology. And you might say, okay, why do you study psychology? And she might answer, well, I had this high school teacher and he was super passionate. He was teaching psychology and I fell in love with the subject. And that's why I decided I'm going to also pursue this in university and I want to become a psychologist. Now suddenly you learn so much about her, who was her favorite teacher and how she fell in love with the subject and why she went to pursue this education. You see, asking why makes things so much deeper. And when you start using it, you're going to see that you're going to have to receive so much more information about the other person, and that will really make you connected. Of course, don't just ask the question, but also tell about yourself. Why are you doing the things you're doing? What is your motivation? And other people will also have the feeling that they're getting to know you. I can promise you, when you use the where and what, you can get so far. When you use the why, you can get so much deeper. Go have fun with it, and I'm curious to see how it will work out for you.